Hey, what's up, good people? Today we're going to talk about something that I enjoy, hustling. So we're going to talk about those side hustles for therapists. What's going on, good people? It's your boy, James Harris, founder of a movement called Mental Health, which focuses on men's overall wellness, the mental health, physical health, and of course, the emotional health. And I'm also the author of a book called Man Just Express Yourself, which is an interactive planning guide for boys and men to better express themselves. Definitely appreciate all my fellow clinicians who got this in our lobby or doing these um, as an intervention within session. I definitely appreciate it. Praises to all the men who went out and got this book. And you want to work on bettering yourselves or identifying specific things that you need to work on. Salute, keep it up, congratulations. And of course, praises to all my spouses out there who got this tool, giving them to their partner. They're doing these over dinner and date night and engaging in those tough conversations. Praises to all the parents as well who got this for the young sons who want to see them be able to identify certain things or work on certain things in different areas. So I definitely appreciate you. And if you want to get a copy of the book, make sure you go to Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere books are sold, including my website, www.mentoheal.com. And while you're on my website, make sure you grab that board game, Cheesy Dates. Yes, I created a board game which is called Cheesy Dates, which is a board game for adults. To have fun, interact, have those tough conversations that you might not normally have. So whether you are in a relationship, whether it's platonic or intimate, this is definitely a good game for you. So play it at your girls' night, play it at your boys' night, play it at your couples' nights, um, or just have an adult game night and have this. So it comes with two different card decks. One is a breakdown of different date ideas that you can do. The second card deck is just tough questions that you should ask that people often don't ask. And of course, it comes with dice and pawn pieces and stuff like that, so we can work your way around the board. So enjoy that. And also, so listen, I definitely appreciate everybody who likes, share, and subscribe my channel. Continue to do that. Make sure you share this information because somebody definitely could use it. So if you're new here, make sure you do that now. Like, share, and subscribe. If you've been here for a while, definitely appreciate it. You help me get monetized. So continue to like, share, and subscribe. All right, cool. So now that all that's out the way, which is me and my hustling, I definitely want to ensure that my fellow clinicians out there know that it's different things that you can do to obtain income. Side hustles. A lot of people just don't want to do psychotherapy or talk therapy. They want to branch out and do more. So finding a lucrative and reliable non-clinician side hustle, it can be easy or it might not be as easy depending on where you are. So Find the Idea has significantly gained notoriety over the past couple of years. A lot of people tend to do ride sharing or Airbnb, different things like that. So we live in a gig economy, a capitalistic society. So getting those coins, getting that money is definitely something that people aspire to do. So definitely ensure that you pay attention to these things that I'm about to break down for you. Many clinicians prefer like different streams of income that does not involve, bringing people into their home or to their vehicle. So let's talk about those things. If you want a side hustle that doesn't involve seeing more clients, start there. Try to figure out what it is that you want to do. Create a list. So whether the goal is extra income or professional growth, you definitely want to identify those things too. Like get some variety. You might want to just grow as a person and be in these different places, but also get paid to be in those different places. So it can be a clinical side hustle or a non-clinical side hustle. Many of my fellow clinicians and therapists knew I was an entrepreneur before I was a therapist. So realistically, before I even had a bachelor's degree, I had two properties and like two or three profitable businesses. So I paused entrepreneurship, went back to school, got my bachelor's in clinical psychology. Then I got my master's in clinical mental health counseling. And then, of course, started my licensing journey. But again, like entrepreneurship was me before I wanted to assist people in a different light. So here we are. So one of the things that you can do as a clinician is, of course, do assessments, do testing. Those things are definitely easy and lucrative. I know different companies that do mental health skill building or crisis stabilization or intensive in-home. It's probably called something different and if you're in a different state, so forgive me. But they need clinicians to do these assessments. So when you consider how expensive it is for a business to hire a new employee, it becomes apparent that psychological testing, assessment testing, or just doing assessments is definitely an efficient tool. So here in Virginia, a clinician master's level or in residency can get $150 an hour just doing a 2 hour assessment, give or take. It might even take you less time than that if you have experience and you're familiar with the paperwork. So that's an easy way. And of course, if you're licensed, it can get up to maybe $200, a little bit more, depending on your writing style and how many assessments you're doing for different companies. So assessment and testing is definitely an easy way for you to get it. So 3 hours a week, $150 to $200 for an assessment that'll take you an hour, hour and a half to do. It's pretty decent. I was able to contract with a couple of different companies previously. I fell back from doing assessments now because I just got a lot of other stuff going on. So another thing that you can do as a clinician is teaching. Why not? Go back into that classroom to share this knowledge, pass that information, and most most of the instructional periods and theories and things that we were taught probably were based at a certain time period. So you now been in the field, been in practice, have graduated, have moved on, you probably in private practice, you have a different insight to offer. So depending on where you live, the local university programs is preferred. You might can get in there. Just start as a volunteer or apply for an adjunct professional position. So it depends. As a clinician, you might also have certain valuable that you definitely want to share with your future colleagues of the discipline in which you're in now. If you have a master's degree, most universities will allow you to teach at a master's level, or they may say you can teach at a bachelor's level. So it depends on different universities, but it don't hurt to reach out to those different universities, whether online, send them an email or whatever the case is, and figure it out. Or, of course, you can go back, get your doctorates, and then teach at all levels or do research. But I think as a master's level clinician, you can teach at a master's level or at the bachelor's level, depending on that university. So definitely check it out, do your research, and figure out where you want to be. Of course, you can always teach at a high school or, in your spare time, teaching at a teaching psychology on a high school level, or community college level. Another opportunity for you to obtain income as a side hustle is, of course, public speaking. I've had the opportunity to speak many places, whether it was universities, different colleges, different nonprofit, different corporation companies, foreign and domestic, fortunately. So those are opportunities to where people will pay you to give your insight or your expertise or your knowledge on a specific subject. So there's always a need for experts to share their knowledge and address patient issues or client issues through public speaking at different conferences, at different events. I've ACA, APA, a couple of different organizations within the mental health space I was fortunate enough to present at or speak at. So, of course, public speaking is definitely an opportunity and a route that you should take. And with public speaking, it opens up the door for other opportunities for more exposure, especially during the past couple of years. The pandemic was tough. A lot of burnout at work is tough. People trying to cope with things going on within society is tough. So wellness in the workplace is a great example, or, police injustice or community service, like all of those topics. People want to hear from you as a clinician, so definitely make yourself known that you want to start doing public speaking. You can start with different free events and let those lead to paid events. I know to me, like, let's just say it's a free opportunity for you to speak to 500 people. That 500 people got a chance to blossom, whether they buying merch, whether they buying your book, whether they are 10% of those people probably want you to speak at another function, which can lead to money, which can lead to donations or whatever if you have a nonprofit. So those are things, opposed to, because a lot of people hear free and they're like, nah, I'm turning it down. Because if you about to speak at an engagement with 10 people or 20 people and it is for money, but that's only visible to those 20 people. Of course, they can share it and whatever, but you got a larger audience for free, then you might want to consider that as well. Um, you know, again, it's up to you to start a free events, but again, to me, they can lead to those paid events. And of course, for you, this is just practice. You want to navigate the crowd, whether it's one person or 15 people or 1,000 people. Also, trying to obtain or get in a space for public speaking, you definitely want to be loud on social media. Have a strong social media presence, whether that's YouTube, Clubhouse, or Instagram. You want to start engaging as much as you can, realistically, putting out fillers on different topics that you probably feel comfortable with talking about. Different people reach out like, hey, I got this podcast, can you do XYZ? And you can do it for free, or you can send them an invoice or tell them about your fees or whatever the case is. And that goes for YouTube as well. And I know a lot of other people too, being in Clubhouse, came out maybe a year or two ago, have gotten lucrative opportunities from Clubhouse, and it catapulted them to speak at different in-person functions or virtual functions. So use those things to your advantage. That would get you visibility and put you in different spaces. So moving on though, like another way or another side hustle that you can use is writing blogs or articles. With the wealth of knowledge that you already experienced, accumulated as a clinician, make sure that you can receive this. This puts you in the forefront to receive funds, writing on mental health blogs or article for mental health related topics. I've been fortunate now that I'm in a space with the movement, with being an entrepreneur, with being a clinician, that different articles or papers reach out to me to give a contribution, and the same thing can happen for you. So whether they're donating to my nonprofit or whether they're giving me monetary, or if it's just me just understanding like, oh, I did an article in Men's Health UK. That's 50 million subscribers. That's, that can lead to whatever else. Article with Psychology Today and so many different articles. Of course, you can go to my website to check those out. But why not put yourself in front of these people if you got it? Like, you're doing this work anyway, so you might as well contribute in article form. You might start looking for part-time position with your favorite website, your journals, communities, and educational offerings. So most colleges that you graduated from got a newsletter. See if you can contribute to that. That's getting, that college, that university eyes on what you're doing now, whether it's for the community or like if you already on a specific website every day just checking out their content, see what you got to do to contribute to it. And of course the same thing for journals and things. And the way to do that, if you want to, if you're not in a position to where people are reaching out to you now, just send them an email briefing your specific want or contribution interest to that specific platform. So whether that's Men's Health or in Forbes or any of these other Exo Nicole, all these other platforms that are in the space of detailing certain criteria or detailing certain information that you feel that you can contribute to. Send them a nice email saying where you are, like who you are, what you want to contribute, and what you have to offer. And they're more than likely they'll say, "No, we good on that," or "Yeah, hey, when I have this segment coming up, I got you. I'll reach out." So start that relationship. Everything is networking. Of course, once you get one of those things or one of those articles on the website or journal or within the education community, other ones will see you. So they tend to be a ripple effect. So definitely you want to do that. But moving on, of course, another side hustle that you can do as a clinician is corporate retreats or different workshops. Many large corporate companies, as a part of their hiring policies, are committed to looking after the mental health of their workers. So now, it's been probably the last couple of years because of COVID, because of the injustices that are constantly in the news. A lot of these companies are bringing in clinicians to do trainings and workshops on burnout, on diversity, equity, inclusion, just different topics like that. So, of course, familiarize yourself and then put yourself out there to see if you can do that. Too many people today juggle not only their demands of being at work and then being at home or being, with the family and then the school, then the community. They need to hear your insights. So, as an owner, as a boss, as a my company, I want to ensure that my employees are good so they can perform well ultimately. So you definitely want to ensure that you're putting yourself in a space to offer those corporate events, whether it's retreats or workshops. And of course, you can be teaching these crucial life skills and strategies to address this. Again, the big one is avoiding burnout within the workplace. That's the easy pitch right there to get in. You know, a lot of people are taking off work, a lot of people aren't working, or a lot of people are working and then go home and then have to come back, or they just short staffed, so now they taking on more tasks at work. So you can offer tips and things on burnout. And also, realistically, if you think about the two previous topics that I talked about, which is public speaking and doing articles, these people probably will find you there and give you this opportunity. So definitely, again, like all of this is a chain or ripple effect. It will put you in a good position. So definitely make sure you're doing articles or public speaking. It'll put you in front of different people who will offer the corporate workshops or the corporate retreats and things like that you offer. So definitely put yourself in a position. And then once you get in that, the next thing that we can talk about is becoming a consultant. Offer your services. So outside of mentoring, people hire consultants to obtain knowledge and get different information. By working as a consultant, you have the capacity to assist organizations and businesses to solve work-related issues with their employees regarding whether it's management skills, interaction between manager and employees, or community-based services, or just somebody, hey, I just finished grad school, I want to know how to start my private practice, or how to obtain clients, or how do I do marketing. All of those things are consultation services if you're not mentoring for free. It's a mentoring video on my YouTube too if you want the difference between mentorship. But also, being a consultant gives you the option to work flexible time, charge per hour, whether you're generating a nice little steady piece of income. Again, like on the entrepreneurship side, I was doing consulting. I still do consulting to help different business owners find funding or strategic business planning, and of course marketing and stuff like that. And I think now it's migrating to a lot of clinicians asking for services to create different streams of income. So it all depends, but previously it definitely was strictly just other entrepreneurs, helping them build their business, finding investors and marketing and stuff like that. But as a clinician, you can consult with whatever services you want to provide, how to do assessments, how to start a private practice, just different things. Since you're already hosting retreats at those corporate events that we just talked about, them companies are going to see the value in you. They might say, hey, listen, we want to hire you on to do XYZ for the employees. So again, everything is that ripple effect. So make sure you're doing that. The next one I want to talk on is creating an online course. Be sure that you can do that. Like, creating an online course is definitely one of the ways in which you can just get paid regularly just while people, it's like more of a residual factor. That can be definitely passive income. Global industry analysis projected that e-learning would definitely reach 107 billion in the next 3 years, like 107 billion just for e-learning. So the easiest way to create an online course is, of course, choose your topic, identify who you want your target audience to be, whether that's different clinicians or whether that's clients for income and services, or community, or whatever you want to engage in. Gather the structure of your knowledge depending on how you want to break those things down. Create the online course, outline. So, hey, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about why it's important. I want to talk about why it's needed. I want to talk about who needs it. Just different things. You can figure that part out. That should be easy. Choose your outline course software and platform. Now, that can take some research, but I did your favor. I done it for you. So, in the next couple of minutes after I finish this list, I'll tell you which platforms will allow you to create an online course. So, when you create an online course, though, be sure that you outline your content and it's healthy content. You don't want to be like the courses that are already out there. because again, things become saturated. Make sure your content is engaging. Make sure your course is worth it, especially if people are going to pay you money for it. They have to see the value in it. Create a good community outline for your courses. Gather feedback too from not only the people that you're selling your course to, but from other clinicians, from other people that you look up to, whether that's a mentor or somebody you consulted with. That expertise, that other set of eyes can assist you in making your course even better. And the last thing I want to talk about for the courses is make sure you're in a position to adapt, improve, and update your courses too. So don't have a course based on something and now everybody like your course is based on in-person learning or in-person working with coworkers and everybody virtual. Create another course. You got to update that thing. You got to stay with the times. So, like I said, different platforms that you can create your course on is, of course, Udemy, which is Udemy. It allows you to pretty much record your course, set your own prices, and make money while you're sleeping. Pretty much, this is passive income, which is something that we all obtain to. Like my rental properties, I don't live there. I don't have to do nothing. They still have to pay rent. So passively, you want to get paid for things that you're not even doing anymore. YouTube, as the views continue to stream, as the hours continue to add up, you get it. Another platform that you can use is Aspiring Suites, which, of course, is a software that you can use through the Windows operating system. And I think that's probably one of the best ones, the Aspirings. And another course generating platform is Easy Generator. Their free option allows you to create up to 10 courses with their pre-packaged interaction, and like you can pretty much publish this to the cloud system. Another one is Smart Building. So create flash e-learning courses within their easy to build interface. So a lot of people like I'm not tech savvy at all. So anything that says easy to build, that's probably my lane. Or of course you can hire somebody to build these courses for you and then just upload them to your website or to your social media and have people just pay you for them. Smart Builder, which you create those flash e-learning courses, and they got the easy to use interface, which is pretty much click and drag type thing. Udutu, UDUTU, assesses different templates, assessments, interface, and conversion. Like it'll help you with your e-learning platform. LCDS, which is by Microsoft, which is, you can create highly qualified interactive online courses through Microsoft. It's pretty decent too, being that you already got Word and what's it called, Access PowerPoint on your computer. So those tend to be easier. If not, to create your course, you might got to get a free thing like Canva or Vistaprint or just those other things to create your graphics and things like that, videos, so definitely make sure that you doing that research as well. So moving on, the next thing you can do for a side hustle as a clinician is, of course, write a book. I was fortunate enough to write a book, and it's doing pretty good. Not only is it helping a lot of different people, whether that's young, old, single, married, a lot of different people are being touched by this book, so unfortunately, so they can have the same outlook on the book that you write. So of course you want to pretty much take all the knowledge that you got as a clinician, put together your course, and turn it into a book. There you go, another ripple effect. That course that you created can be a book, or if you want to do another book with different clinicians, or a book on some that you experience or some that you see in private practice, or whatever the case is. You might just want to write nonfiction books or fiction books, make the stories up yourself, or write about somebody else. Either way, these are tangible ways to you to connect and give people insight on different things. This also leads to opportunities that I mentioned before. So your book will lead to speaking engagements or different articles or different companies buying them in bulk. So these things can definitely be helpful. So think about it. You do go to a speaking engagement or a corporate event or whatever the case is, and now you're selling your book there also. So that's additional income. Perhaps the biggest question when it comes to publishing a book is, do I want to self-publish or do I want to find a publishing company? So it all depends. You would probably want to go worldwide and go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble's, Target, Apple Books, or Kubo, or wherever. It's up to you to do those things. So when I was planning to write my book, because I got a high social media presence, two companies reached out, one from California, one from New York, and they wanted to uh, publish, edit, and distribute. But for me, being business savvy, I didn't take it because I would have been giving up a lot of equity for doing all the work. But for you, it might be something that you want to do, or you can just do Amazon KDP. Um, but again, all of those things, all of those people, if you're not self-published, will of course take a piece of your project, your baby, your hard work. So it's up to you on which route you want to take. But of course, you can email me, or we can figure out. I can assist you in navigating that field as well. Another one that you can do to obtain easy or passive income as a clinician to have your side hustle is create merch. Slang those T-shirts, offer those mugs or stickers or hats. And so I started off initially just learning myself as free branding, as a conversation starter. But soon after, before I knew it, it was 1,000 sold because one, it resonated with a lot of people. Women will come up and say, "Hey, oh man, my husband didn't like this shirt," or "He need to talk to somebody." Free advertisement. And then a lot of people, it just resonated with them. So of course they started buying it, and when they buy it, when they wear it, that's another free marketing tool for you because now this person in Cali or this person in New York or this person wherever got your shirt on, somebody's asking them the same question. Hey, what's that mean? Where'd you get that shirt? Now everything's going up, and that again goes back to what I said earlier. That can lead to speaking engagements, that can lead to different articles. I don't know how many times I've heard, "Hey, I seen somebody with this shirt, they sent me this website, can you tell me about it?" Or you mind, it just opened up to the door to different things. So hats, shirts, mugs, stickers, bumper plates, whatever, just get your stuff out there because the more eyes on it, the more you're going to be. Visibility, that's it. So, create merch. And with your merch, you might want to branch out and probably create cards or journals or calendars. Those are good ways too. Myself personally, I created a board game because one, I'm black and there's not a lot of board game companies, but the journals and the cards, it's a lot of people now migrating to that space. I just wanted to be different, so or ahead of the board game curve. I'm sure people are gonna migrate to it eventually, but I just wanted to do something different. So the board game to me is another tangible way to get people to have something of yours to obtain the insight. This also leads to those other opportunities. Like realistically, how many black-owned board game companies you know? You don't. So now if somebody see my board game, they're like, "Yo, who created this board game?" One, they got to go to my website. While you on my website, you can see everything else that I've done or been a part of. So now you're intrigued. So that might lead to another speaking engagement or to at least somebody say, "Yo, what I need to do to create a board game?" Now that's a consulting opportunity. Or somebody say, "Hey, I got this YouTube channel, this podcast. Like what you did was innovative or different. Can you come?" So now that's enough. So you get it by now. It's doing these things create a build on itself and will allow you to continue to evolve yourself, your personal brand, and your finances if that's the way you choose. So another way that you can do that is, of course, YouTube and podcasting, which is a space that's now being overly saturated. So make sure you get into that space immediately and just jump out there. When I started this channel, I had no knowledge. I just put on social media one day. I think I want to start a YouTube. After that, realistically, honestly, my YouTube was just a way to filter my book. I was just going to do 60 different videos and call it a day. I was going to do a video on a chapter of my book and, per week or whatever, and I thought I was going to be good. But I seen the response that my videos was getting on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. was like, oh man, I can transfer these over. And then I realized that people needed this information, or at least wanted the information, because I'm authentically me. I'm a black therapist. So either way, wherever people choose to view me, I realized like, yo, they coming back. I'm getting engagement. This video has been shared X amount of times in different groups or whatever. So I stuck with it, and realizing that, people found me for different reasons. Whether that is, hey, I seen YouTube. You mind if I use this clip in the movie? That happened. I was able to pay. I was able to get paid to have different quotes from my YouTube in different, well, in one movie, but you get it. So people can see you or hear you, and it opens up other opportunities. Somebody see my video overseas, and hey, listen, we can't fly you out because of the pandemic, but do you mind doing a virtual conference? Yeah. So either way, be visible. And of course, the same thing happened with podcasts. YouTube has always been a popular destination for folks to get an audience. Again, like the people who view you on YouTube would then translate to your social media, or then buy your merch or buy your shirts or whatever. So that's a good way. And they probably book you for speaking engagements or consultations. So for me, fortunately, I'm now monetized because I met the threshold of 1,000 subscribers and got my 4,000 watch hours within a certain period of time. I'm just fortunate. But of course, you don't get discouraged if it takes you more time than others. It's not a rat race, and it's all different. One video can go viral, or probably got to do 100 videos with minimum views. I don't know the system to it. If I did, I'll probably be getting more money off my YouTube than I am now. I just make the content, and it catch who it catch. It goes where it goes, So that's not your concern. Your concern is just doing the work. You reach who it need to reach. Videos I've been sharing in groups, people find these topics interesting. People find, they want to be helped. Podcasting is much less crowded than the competitive spaces like blogging, So since, what's this? This is 22. So it's over 2 million podcasts, but realistically, blogging, it's over 6 million blogs, because anybody can get a blog and attach to their website. Podcasts take a little bit more work. You got to download software. You got to, you can do it with somebody. You can do it solo. You got to find places to stream it or upload it to. So it's going to eventually get saturated, but right now it's not. It's only 2 million compared to 600 million blogs. So, hey, if this information was helpful to you, you found your side hustle, hit me up. Let me know what you're trying to do, or let me know if you need assistance with something. I definitely appreciate you. Go out and get that money, my fellow clinician. I'll catch you on the next one.